So we're going to start chapter 2, which is all about buying food. And this is something that most of you probably already relate to. We'll talk about comparing different prices. This is something maybe you do when you go to two different stores. You see that something's cheaper somewhere versus a different place. Changing prices from cents to dollars. Okay, computing the cost of single items or multiple items depending on the situation. Computing the change, how much change you're going to get if you pay with a 20, let's say, and the total is like $16.25. Using coupons and how much you would save doing that. Some of them have restrictions based on how many items you have to buy in order to use the coupon. Comparing and computing unit prices, so how much it is per ounce or per pound, depending on how the packaging is labeled. How to add tip and how much you should tip when you go to a restaurant. And then lastly, comparing the cost between going out to eat at a restaurant or fast food place versus if you were to make the food at home. Okay, so first part we have is expressing prices. Sometimes the store will write down the cost in cents, so it'll be like 79 and then the C for cents. So if you were to turn that into a dollar, you are going to take the 79 cents and you're going to move the decimal place over to the left too. Okay, so 79 cents with the C is the same as using the dollar sign but 0.79. That's the difference between the cent and the dollar expression. If you are changing dollars to cents, so this is $1.49. How many cents would that be? You're going to go the opposite direction. So you're going to start at the decimal and go right to. So that's how I get 149 cents. So that's what you're going to do with this first part. For exercise A, you're going to express the prices as dollars. And then for part B, you're going to express the dollars as cents. So I'm going to do the first one with you, and then you're going to go ahead and finish the rest. So again, if we're going from cents to dollars, that means we're going to go to the left 2. So from here, I start at the 5, go left 2, and that's 0.45. Remember that the leading 0 in front of the decimal is optional, but most people do write it. If I'm going from dollars to cents, I'm going to go to the right 2. So with that decimal, go right, and now I end up with 75. No more decimals, right? I'm using the C for cents. So when you're doing it this way, it's possible that you're going to get over 100. Now, for something like number 2 on the previous exercise, I'm going to go back a little bit because in this case, something's going to happen, and we're going to go left 2, so we end up with 0.255. But if I'm really talking about money, I don't have more than 2 decimal places, so I have to round. Remember that if it's 5 or more, you're actually going to round up. So this would actually turn into 26 cents, but I'm changing it into dollars, so 0.26. Okay, so if needed, only when you're dealing with decimals, you do need to only have 2 decimal places if you're writing it as dollars. If you're writing it as cents, it's okay if it goes over 100. Okay? So go ahead and pause the video and finish up these. These are something that I'm going to check for when I check your notes for your process grade. So please make sure you take some time to do the rest of these problems. When you're done with that, we're going to go on to lesson 2. And this is reviewing 3 different ways that we can write the same amount of money. So if I have 59 cents, I might see it as just 59 with the C for cents. I might see it as the dollar version, so $0.59. And I might also just see it as 0.59. Okay, all of those mean 59 cents written in 3 different ways. So what we're going to do in this first part is the instructions say to copy it down. Essentially, you're just going to cross out the incorrect way of writing the value. Okay? So you're going to cross out one of these in every row. So I'm looking at this first row, and one of those does not make sense or it's not equivalent to the rest. Okay, so first one's 17 cents. This one is 17 cents in dollar form. This one's 0.17. So the only one that's wrong is $17. because $17 is not the same as 17 cents, and that's what the other ones were showing. Okay? So you're going to go through these, cross out one of these does not belong, and then you can go on to the next row. In the next section, you're going to do something similar. So you are given dollar values in 3 different ways. You could have, the dollar. This is what we did last chapter, where we had the hourly rate was just written as $2.39. But sometimes you'll be missing the sign, or the cents will be elevated instead of there being a decimal. Same thing here with no dollar sign. They all mean the same thing. Okay, so in this part of exercise B, you're going to do the same thing. One of these does not belong on the first row. So the one that does not belong in this case is $109, because $109 is way bigger than $1.09. Okay, so again, pause the video and finish up the other ones in this section. Now, when you're shopping for food, a lot of the times it's going to be labeled based on what you are purchasing. So if you're buying chicken, they might sell it by the pound. So then it'll tell you the unit price, how much they're charging you per pound of chicken. But then, like, if the package that you got was 2.5 pounds, then you would have to figure out, or it's usually they give it to you, but you could figure out how much it's going to be. If the package of chicken is 2.5 pounds, you would just multiply it by 2.5. Same thing with ounces. Remember that there's 16 ounces in a pound. So if it's sold by ounces, it might show as a fraction like this. So 1/16 of a pound or whatever. And then the last abbreviation you might see is a package, so the cost might be per package instead of per pound or per ounce. It really just depends on what you are buying. Okay, so when you're going through this, just be careful that you're paying attention to, are you buying it per pound, are you buying per ounce, or is it per package? So those would be the abbreviations that are used in the examples that we have. So here we have our first example of like the store. We have some grapes, pickles, cornflakes, bread, ham, and cheese. Notice how the pickles, for example, are sold in 32-ounce jars. So the whole jar is $4.39 versus like the grapes are $1.99 per pound. So if like the bundle of grapes you pick up is more than that, then we would figure out the cost by multiplying it from there. Okay, so you are going to use this table to answer the questions on the next page. The first example is done for us. So if we want to buy a pound of grapes and a package of cornflakes, then I need to look on here on this table, figure out how much grapes are. Grapes are $1.99, cornflakes are $3.57. So I have $1.99 plus the $3.57. This is my total cost. So that's what you're going to do for all of these. The only thing I want you to be careful with is if you have 2 of something. So if I were to do example 4, okay, in example 4 I have 2 pounds of grapes. So I'm going to look at my table. I see that the grapes, and you might need to go off to the side and do this part. So the grapes are $1.99 per pound, and I'm buying 2 pounds. Okay, so I need to multiply that, and we're going to round to $3.98. And then I have pickles, and I'm buying 2 jars of pickles. So again, each jar of pickle is $4.39. So I'm multiplying that by 2 because I'm buying 2 of them, and that's $8.78. And lastly, I have my cheese. Okay, and I'm buying 2 of those. So cheese is $6.39 times 2 is $12.78. Okay, so then to get my total for all of these items, I'm going to add those all up. So adding those up, my total is $25.54. So be careful when you're doing the multiplication. Please show your work, because that's how you're going to get credit for these on your process grade. Okay, so you're going to do the other 5 problems on this page. Okay, and the last thing that we have here, we're going to be computing change. So same idea. First, we have, different products that are being sold here. Again, paying attention. We have some new things that were listed, and they're actually on the, oh no, they're here, sorry. So they're on the next page. So dozen, gallon, 8-ounce package. So some of those terms are there, and again, they're explained right over here. Dozen is 12, so that's usually like eggs, right, are sold by the dozen. And then gallon, that's usually like milk or juice, things like that. So these are prices for these products, and we're now going to calculate the change. I would love for you to practice this without a calculator, because there's been so many times that you go to the store and like if the register is broken, the cashier can't do mental math, and I would love for you to be the person that's like, I got you. I can do the mental math for you. So if you could try to do this without a calculator, but if you absolutely can't, then that's what it's there for. So we have John here who is going to buy 1 package of lunch meat and 1 pound of chicken. So again, looking up here, we have the lunch meat is $3.79. That's right there. And then we have chicken. It's only 1 pound, so we are only doing the $2.19. So we have a total cost of $5.98. So if John is paying with a $10 bill, we would take the 10 and subtract the $5.98. Again, this is the part that I would love, love, love for you to do with no calculator. Okay, at least just try it. Like, try to do it in your head and then see what happens. Okay? So do your best. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But I would like for you to try, because mental math is good for you. So with that, you're going to do that for the next page. You are going to check, the price, write down the price, and you're going to find the total cost of the grocery list, and then you're going to find how much change you're going to get if they're paying with a $20 bill, okay? Again, paying attention to those abbreviations for gallon and dozen. Try to do this in your head, and then use a calculator if you absolutely must. But 2 things I need you to write down is the total, how much it's going to be, and I need you to also tell me the change, how much they're getting back for all of these, okay? And this is where we will pause for today's class. Please make sure you are filling in and showing all of your work, because again, this is going to go towards your process grade for the week when I check it.